Gary Burgham, 105.9 Bishop FM.
If you were listening in the first hour of the programme, you would have heard Sonia Strong choosing three of her most favourite songs to sit down and have a cup of coffee to. Well, we are now going to be in conversation with Sonia and hear some of her music. And we will start like that with a wonderful song, Find My Way Home. This is Sonia Strong. Sonia Strong and Find My Way Home. I had a lovely chat with Sonia this week. We talked about that track and lots of others in her ever-growing catalogue of music, and lots of other things that she does too, as you will find out. Listen out over the next quarter of an hour or so for a reference to Jimmy Page and the song Stairway to Heaven, a very interesting part of the chat indeed. So if you are able to, sit back, relax and enjoy our conversation with Sonia Strong right here on Bishop FM. Welcome, Sonia. Sonia Strong, it's lovely to meet you. Now, you're writer, artist, director. You've worked as a TV presenter. You've worked in America, as I understand that. You've been a DJ. You founded the Miss Newcastle organization on behalf of the Miss World. You've worked at a Northeast production company for 2 years as an arts director. You've done voiceovers for the Metro Centre and Marks and Spencer's.
That's right.
You're a very busy person.
And you've done your research.
And you find time to record wonderful albums.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, because that's quite a lot. And you strike me as being a very young person. So how did you fit it all in?
I don't really sleep much, Gary. That's
is that the
honest
secret?
answer.
Right, okay.
Yes, the secret, yeah. I've been composing music since I was about 16 years old. And it started off as poetry that turned into lyricism, and then picked up the guitar and the piano to compose music as well. And then as the years kind of went by, I wanted to do an experiment looking at the various keys that correlate with our chakra system. So our energy centers that start from the crown chakra all the way down to the base. And in 2023, I published my first chakra album called Chakra Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
There's a piece of music on there to correlate with each chakra. And then that sort of evolved onto looking at the frequencies. So the new album Soul Survival, which is relaxing sounds in 432 hertz, that was sort of an evolution from Chakra Cinema, looking a bit deeper into how music can heal us at various different frequencies.
Right. So yes, I'm not too familiar with my own chakras. So it's a case of getting to know them, I guess. Is it as a person? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because each chakra it's governed by one of the systems in the body. For instance, the throat chakra, it's the parathyroid and the thyroid that is in direct correlation with that. So it's not just the systems in the body, it's various colors, frequencies. So each chakra has their own sort of set of variables, let's say. And I find if you start looking into that, especially things like the solar plexus, that's our gut, that sort of gut feeling is the solar plexus. And that's if I remember rightly, it's in the key of E for the solar plexus. So if you need to make an important decision, they would probably say, listen to music in the key of E or E minor.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many studies being done at the moment, and there's been a pilot study done that shows that music in 432 hertz is a low cost intervention to manage anxiety and stress, in comparison to the standard tuning of music, which is 440 hertz. And the benefits that came out of this particular pilot study was a reduction in heart rate, in blood pressure. People were finding they could relax easier, fall asleep much easier. Yeah, it's fabulous. I find it fascinating. I really, really do.
That is a fascinating area. Does that go then some way to explain why our moods can direct us towards listening to particular kinds of music at different times?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't know if you know this, but artists like John Lennon and Bob Marley and Prince and Jimi Hendrix, they converted the majority of their music to 432 hertz because they knew it was nature's resonance. They knew it was the beat of the earth is what they used to refer it to. And a lot of their songs are written in the key of A. And A is universal tuning. And when you look all of this up, you see that A correlates with 432 hertz. And the chakra that is associated to is the third eye. So for intuition. Yeah, so it kind of works across emotional healing, spiritual healing. It can really have an effect on your physiological symptoms, depending on how much you want to look at the scientific perspective, you know.
I did a bit of research on frequency and the wavelength, something like 700,000 meters long, one wave.
Yeah.
It's very, very long wave, very, very, very gently flowing wave. Nothing savage about that.
I had a look on YouTube, and if you were to tune a tuning fork to 432 hertz, and you were to pour some salt just on a flat surface, the difference in the patterning of what the salt does when it's in around a 432 influence in comparison to a 440 influence. So the standard tuning, it made the salt sort of dance around in a circle.
Right?
Whereas the 432, it developed the most beautiful patterns. It almost looked like if you were to zoom in on an eyeball, something like that, where there was just so much intricacy going on. And I believe that experiment, we can take it on board with our own bodies, because even how the blood flows through our veins, it depends on how we are feeling in terms of external influence. So the things that are going on in our lives, the sounds that we listen to, and we're in control of this when it comes to music. And there's a beautiful channel on YouTube called Healing Energy for Souls, and they have videos that are on for like an hour or 2 hours, mainly music in 432 hertz. So just bringing that into your daily life, just to listen to it in the background, can really help with mindfulness, can help with stress reduction, your sleep, a multitude of benefits I've personally found with the 432 hertz music. And then when I came to master the sound before publishing the album, I obviously had to listen to it on repeat myself. So I was almost my own guinea pig, and I just thought, wow, this really does work. Because
Yeah.
after about 10 minutes of listening to it, I'm sitting there going, oh, oh.
That's probably why I enjoyed it so much. It just relaxed me and made me feel wonderful. And yeah, and the tracks,
Fantastic.
although they are very different, they do tend to blend from one, they blend into each other. It makes a lovely landscape listening to the whole thing. Yeah, I
Oh,
really,
thank you.
really enjoyed it. I bet it was fun to record. Was it multi-layered? Did it take a while to get it all together?
Yes, it did. Because I did some research, and other albums of that type, I found was mainly binaural beats or
Mhm.
white noise or something that's just a beep. And I thought I want this to actually be a full soundscape, as many instruments as I possibly can use across the full album. I wanted each track to stand as an individual as well as being a part of the same body of work.
Yeah, yeah. Soul Survival. That's it. Sorry, yes.
I don't know if you can see me, but it's behind me right here,
Oh,
uh,
yes, so it is.
in a frame, along with Chakra Cinema and my very first album, which was Sonogram, and that was published in 2013. Soul Survival is actually my third album.
Sonogram is very different.
Yeah, it's very it's a dance album, I
It is a
suppose.
dance album.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's great
Mhm.
fun to listen to as well.
Oh, good. You had a listen. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't quite know what to expect because I started with the new album and then worked my way back through your playlist and thought,
Mhm.
whoa, right, okay, that's rather bouncy.
Interestingly enough, the next album that's coming is called Ultrasound, and that's on a similar vibe as Sonogram, so it will be a vocal album. The music's all written. It's just in process of the production part happening. And I'm excited. I'm so excited for that. So excited because I feel like I've 50% of my songwriting catalog hasn't even been heard yet. And the feedback that I've heard from producers and the people that I work with that I trust is fantastic. Everyone's saying, "Wow, the songs are very commercial," but it's a goal of mine to sell some of the tracks to other artists. I'm very happy being the creator, the composer, the writer, the songwriter, the producer. But now I'm in my fourth decade of life. I'm really feeling there's no need for me to be spotlighted. I really enjoy just creating the material and then hearing it back.
So Sonia Strong is not taking her back catalogue on tour then. That's not going to happen.
No.
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 Okay.
But I tell you what will be on tour. It's a musical I've been writing for 23 years this year
Yeah.
called Ancient Dreams. And it's a very modern day musical that will tell the story of the ancient Egyptian queen Nefertiti.
All right.
So one minute we're in the modern day listening to like rock tunes, and then we flash back 3,000 years to ancient Egypt and discover the story of those particular pharaohs. Again, I'm not ever going to be in the show. I'm the creator of the show, and because I've directed musical theatre in the past, I have witnessed that fully lights me up much more than being on the stage. So writing and directing the show and then sitting in the audience and seeing it come to life, that's what brings me joy. I can't even tell you how much I feel so at home in that role rather than being on stage. I think I was under the spotlight for too many years. I started stage school at 2 years old, didn't leave till I was 19 with qualifications to teach dance, went on to study acting. The music's always ran through my life. And as you said earlier, the TV presenting, I've done a lot where I've had no choice, front in front of the camera or under
Mm.
the spotlight. But for me, I write and create to inspire, to educate, to entertain, and to heal, ultimately, if it's possible, with things like soul survival. It's a very healing body of work, and I hope that it's received that way by people who listen to it.
What about the back catalogue though? My particular favourites, well, I wrote them down here. Find My Way Home. I really love that.
Right.
Party Party.
Oh yeah.
Um, and Masterpiece. Now, I think wasn't that a single? Wasn't Masterpiece released as a single?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
was. Yes.
Yeah. So if you had to choose any of those yourself,
Probably be masterpiece,
yeah.
because it took a very long time to create. If I remember rightly, it went on for about 14 months creating that particular track.
Gosh.
Um, and it started as an experiment. I'm quite obsessive with orchestral sounds, like big strings and things. And I thought, how can we sort of mix some classical sounds with dubstep? We'll do a hybrid track with a little influence from Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. If you listen again to that
Ah.
piano riff at the beginning, it's the intro of Stairway to Heaven, but mixed up in a different order. So it was such an experiment, the track, and the lyric didn't go on until the very, very end. And the idea was just to try and tell people we are all our own masterpieces, don't compare yourself to anyone else. And I had this thought in my mind at the time writing the song that it takes thousands of broken glass to make a glitter ball. That sort of vibe, where we all spin individually
Mm.
as beings, and we are no matter what you're going through in life, we are all our own masterpiece. That was the reason for the lyric on the song.
Well, we won't tell Jimmy and Robert about the opening part of the
I,
track.
I got Jimmy knows. Jimmy Page
Oh,
knows
does
because
he?
yeah, he does because I had it. I was in China in 2008,
Yeah.
singing in the closing ceremony of the Beijing Olympics for the American media.
Right.
And one of my dearest friends, Chiro Orsini, he was chatting to Jimmy Page on the phone because they are good friends. And he put me on the phone to him. So I did tell him I'm very inspired by Stairway to Heaven, and I'm doing an experiment with trying to sort of that lovely riff that runs through. I'm flipping it on its head to see how it sounds. So Jimmy was laughing on the phone and he loved it. So he was actually one of the first people to ever listen to Masterpiece,
Well,
was
isn't
Jimmy
that
Page.
That's a fantastic story. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, it's all in the open.
Yeah.
Always the best way, I think. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, right. Well, we'll give Masterpiece a spin as well.
It is advised you fasten your seatbelts for takeoff and landing. Why can't you stand it? Respect's demanded. Unless I've cursed or I've hurt you, I sincerely apologize. I'll reimburse you with love and light. First, be foremost, cosmologically, I'll be a prodigy, a product of your imagination, your creative interpretation through this fifth dimension. The only goal be ascension. Gotta pay attention for the signs. They exist in the sky and on the ground. These signs are in the sounds and rhymes. Circles on lines, on hills, through trees, overseas with birds and bees. I ask only please for the strongest soldiers who can hold us, not the controllers who want to drain and codependent. Want you to be the best you can be, because the best you can be is brilliant. You are your own masterpiece. Players, colors, seasons, elements, bits, notes, miles, balls, commandments, numbers, fingers, toes. 10 out of 10. The highest score. Light in the Lord and walk to the light. You can't cross the line with baggage on your back. Manifesting as you, the form is this moment. A burst of now to live your show. You are your own masterpiece.
So a new album is coming.
Well, the album that's coming in 2 weeks' time is Sonogram the Remixes. So it's 5 bonus tracks, and then Ultrasound, which is my fifth album, the vocal album that'll be coming towards the end of this year. The music on that album, I think it's been in work in progress for about 12 or 13 years, and some of the songs from the Ancient Dreams the musical have migrated into Ultrasound the album.
Ancient Dreams is a musical.
It is based on the Egyptian queen Nefertiti.
Nefertiti. It's such a magical, mystical, wonderful, colourful story, isn't it?
It is. It's fascinating. And my father is Egyptian, so me and my brother are
Ah,
half Egyptian, half English.
yeah.
And we believe that the music that runs through our blood comes from the Egyptian side of the family. And we try to visit at least once a year. So I was there in the summer last year in Cairo, doing a little documentary up at the pyramids in 45-degree heat. But I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of Egypt.
So
Thank
much
you.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. If only there were more hours in the day.
Well, you're spinning a lot of plates there, I think. But yeah.
So at the moment, I'm working on around 50 pieces of music that have nothing to do with any of these 3 albums behind me. So yeah, I'm knee deep in music, Gary.
Yes, and blessed with a creative appetite. So
Thank
much
you.
going on. Yeah, I found the wavelength, by the way. It was 693,964 meters long, peak to peak, for 432 hertz. There you are. Now you have it.
Right. Aha. Thank
So
you. Yeah, I learned something this morning. I think the radius of the sun is 432,000 miles. And I don't know if your listeners are interested in going and doing their own research, but if you Google 432 magic, the amount of information that you find, about the Fibonacci sequence, the solfeggio scales. It's really, really fascinating when you start to delve a little bit deeper into the research of 432 as a number.
Right, interesting. Yeah, Fibonacci. Yeah, that's one,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and 432 sits in there eventually. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And I'm sure many people are already across this because Soul Survival, the second album, could be coming along, Gary, at this rate. We just don't know.
Okay, I suspect it probably might be. Oh gosh. Yeah. So how do people leave feedback? How do they find more information about Sonia Strong and access your beautiful music?
So the music, you can find it on any platform, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, and then the free channels like Spotify, Deezer. It's on YouTube. So literally just type it in on any platform that you use and you'll find the music. And the same for social media. I'm just Sonia Strong across all social media, and it's Sonia with an I, not a Y.
Hmm.
And to give me a follow and send me a message or leave a comment on some of the Soul Survival videos because there's a 60-second sample of each of the tracks on the album currently on my Instagram and on my TikTok page. So yeah, feel free anyone to give me a follow. And if you've got any feedback, positive or negative, I'm really open to hearing that.
Just search Sonia Strong. That's Sonia with an I. Yeah,
Correct.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been lovely talking to you, Gary.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a fascinating conversation, and I wish you the very, very best of luck
Thank you very
with
much.
your ever busy creative life. A very creative life indeed. That was my conversation with Sonia Strong, local artist, singer, songwriter, and all the rest of it. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you to Sonia for giving us some of her time, some of her precious time. We'll be back on Bishop FM after the break with a classic from Simply Red.
This is Bishop FM.